rebuilding. A catastrophic failure, a new start. Physically, mentally, our careers, our businesses. Step back, first step, next step. The driver in me just wants to get it done tomorrow. We'll do this, do that, let's move this, where are we at with this? You build some confidence, build some self-esteem, start to feel better about yourself. The Silverback Blueprint Podcast, a show for men over 40. We focus on getting stronger, staying motivated, building discipline, creating a community, and becoming truly happy. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 156 of the Silverback Blueprint Podcast. What's your plan for 2019? This episode's coming to you December 27th, so we're about 4 days away from 2019, from New Year's Eve, New Year's resolutions, and all that bullshit. We know New Year's resolutions don't work. Statistically, we know most resolutions are broken within 7 days of being made. I don't know the exact statistics, but I know it's quite high. But it's up there. I think it's like something like 87% or 91% of all of resolutions made on the first are you've gone off the rails by something like silly 7th or the 8th within a week. And there's reasons for that. First off, 9 times out of 10 come New Year's Eve, you're fucking liquored, right? So you're not thinking straight. You're thinking emotionally. You're not being rational. You're being irrational. And you're reacting to what's happening around you. Everyone else is making resolutions. Fuck it, this year, right? That's what you're doing, right? Whatever it takes to get to the kiss. You just want the fucking kiss. Let's be honest. Like I talked about in the last episode, a lot of times with the holidays and the stress and stuff, is that you also get to a point where you realize that you're not happy. You haven't changed who you were a year ago. And guys, over 40, especially over 50, a year fucking whizzes by. I don't know how many times I catch myself, well, didn't we just talk about that? Yeah, 6 months ago. Because there's so much going on. And the world is operating 100 times faster an hour than it did before. And we're busy. We have a lot of things on our plate. Most of it's bullshit. Most of it isn't what we want it to be. But it's still there, clogging things up. So right now, December 27th, if you don't have a plan for 2019, and I mean a plan, I mean where you sat back and you evaluated what happened in 2018, looked at what you liked that happened, sat there and looked at what didn't happen. And I think for a lot of us, what the shocking part is, if you do this for the first time, you realize you didn't even have a fucking plan for 2018. Vague stuff. Oh, I want to be stronger. I want to be happier. I think that's like the biggest bullshit. I want to be happier. Okay. Well, what does that mean to you? Because what makes me happy isn't what's going to make Luke happy. And it's probably not going to make you happy. Or there might be some similarities. Or you might be a fucking wingnut, and what's going to make you happy will put most of us in jail. Who knows? So again, we do this vague stuff. We do this surface stuff. I just want everyone to be happy, and I want world peace. What the fuck is that? Listen, what do you want to make you happy? And do you even know what would make you happy? And the sad thing is, most people don't. They haven't sat there and spent the time and thought about things. Get ready for the fucking eye roll, because they haven't sat down on a regular basis with a journal and written things out, plotted things out, wrote down thoughts, spent half an hour a day in their own head. And we'll keep coming back to that over and over again, because that's the shit that makes the difference. So now most of you are going to be in holiday mode. If you haven't done it yet, take some time. Take some time today. Get a fucking pen and paper out if you don't have a journal. Go out and buy a fucking journal. Lock yourself in a room, in your car, somewhere alone, and start to write. And start to think. And start to evaluate. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to come out of there with a couple of things. You're going to come out of there with some stuff that's going to be hard. And that's why a lot of us don't do it, because it's hard. And it's emotional. And we don't want to admit that we're failing, even though we know we're fucking failing. If you're younger than 40 listening to this, you got a fucking great head start. Start this shit now. So at the end of the day, you're going to take a pen and paper and you're just going to start writing. If you want some structure, I've talked about it before. The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. We'll throw that link in the podcast. Great little book to read. Easy read. Gives you some structure. Helps you set it up. Boom. At the end of it, you've got a structure. Start working with that. But let's get back to more specific about the 2019. Your plan for 2019. There's 2 exercises that I get my people to do. My people. These are my people. When I'm working with them, specifically in the Silverback program. And I like to come back and do it, even myself, quarterly. The first one is called The Perfect Day. I think we've covered this in an episode before, but I think it's going way back. I was looking through the notebook there, and I couldn't see it, but watch, it was like 3 episodes ago. No, it's been a while. And what The Perfect Day is all about, it's a great exercise. And it's to try to get you to think a little bit more about what you would like to be doing during the day as opposed to what you are doing during the day. And I just put this out to my Silverback group, I think 2 weeks ago, the current group I'm working with. I gave them this as an exercise at the end of one workout. I said, for the next week, I want you guys to do this. I want you to sit and think about what the ultimate day for you would be. Now, I don't mean like your last day on earth, hookers and blow. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I'm not talking about the purge here. I'm talking about a Tuesday. What would your ultimate Tuesday look like? What would it feel like? What would it sound like? What time would you get up? What would you be doing? How would you be spending your time? And I don't mean you're retired. I mean you're doing what you want to do, the passion. It's not your job. It's not your business. It's your passion. Now, it may be your job and it may be your business. Hopefully, that's what you're doing as your passion or as your job or your career or your business. So you're following your passion and doing that. So what would that day look like? You can go as detailed as you want. You can write it in paragraph form. You can write it in bulletproof form, whatever you want. So mine starts when I wake up, and then when I go to the next step, and I go to the next step, all the way to what time I go to bed, and what I'm doing before bed, and where I'm doing it. And like I said, I like to do it on a regular basis, and what's really cool is every once in a while I like to compare. But what it does is it starts to get you to think about what you truly want to be doing. The second exercise that I just had these guys, they're going to be doing after this one, it's called 5 years from now. And basically what you want to do is take a snapshot of you in 5 years from now. Because again, we talked about earlier, especially when you get over 50, 5 years fucking whizzes by. A year is a bullet. But 5 years goes by pretty quick. And when you do this exercise, it starts off as simple as, hey, in 5 years, I'm 55. Just watching Luke trying to take a picture, and he got it pointed in the wrong direction. And then he was like, what the fuck? Where is it? We have the best people on our team here. That was awesome, buddy. So in 5 years from now, I'll be 55. So that was my first line. And then what I did is I just basically did a snapshot of my physical health, my mental state, my personal finances, my business level, where I'm spending my time. You can make it as detailed as you want. You can make it bulletproof. But the whole thing is it starts to get you to think. And now the really cool thing is when we were sitting down actually last night with the guys at the end of class, and they were sharing their ultimate day, a lot of cool stuff came up. And what they realized, and then of course I showed, I reinforced at the end, I said, what they've done is they've created the start of a blueprint to reverse engineer what they're doing now, or what they want to be doing, to adjust what they're doing now. So between the perfect day and the 5 years from now, if you put some work in on that, a lot of things are going to start to come to light on that paper. And I'll tell you, the magic is when you write it on paper. It's been proven scientifically. When you put pen to paper, things happen chemically in your brain. Changes begin immediately. It becomes real. But when you start to put things down on paper and you start to see patterns emerge, repetitiveness emerge. I had one guy, basically what kept coming out is working with his hands and woodworking. And he's saying how he likes to make furniture. And I'm like, dude, that's what you should be doing. And he's doing it already, but he's just, he just not quite where he wants it to be yet. And I said, that's okay. You massage that. One of the other guys, when he looked at his day, he realized he's already halfway there. I said, that's fantastic. So what do we change next? What do we work on next? And you slowly start adjusting things, steering that big ship in a certain direction. One of the other guys, he came up with how much money he needs to be comfortable. I said, that's fantastic. Most people have no fucking clue. We were talking about, in the dollar sense of things and stuff. When we're younger, we want to acquire things. We want to buy things. But what we're really doing is we're filling voids. I don't feel good about myself, so I'm going to make myself feel better by going out and buying a new car every year. Now, if you can afford it and that truly is your passion, then fucking do it. But most people that do it can't afford it. But they do it to feel better because it makes them excited, even for that little bit. Maybe every time they see it in the driveway, they go, oh, I have a beautiful truck. My life's a fucking piece of shit, but I have a beautiful truck. Maybe that's what's getting them through things. For me, it was drinking beer. Right? So at the end of the day, as we get older, we realize actually we want less. We realize it's not the physical assets that we're missing. It's the spiritual. It's the mental. It's the happiness from within. Now, if you're a collector of trucks and you love trucks, then go after that shit. But become really good at it. Become very passionate about it. Become known for it. Then things will come to you because of it. The truck world will come to you. The one guy who likes making furniture, I'm like, dude, make furniture. Make $3,000 coffee tables. Become famous for it. And reverse engineer it. If you figure out the lifestyle you want to live, you need $100,000 a year, then reverse engineer that. $100,000 a year is $8,333 a month. Break it down to how much a week that is. Break that down to how much a day it is. Break that down to how much an hour that is. Then figure out how much time it takes you to make that coffee table. Multiply it by that. There's your fucking price of that coffee table. It's when we start to break things down, when we start to reverse engineer things, that things become apparent to us. The one thing that I learned with the Silverback program when I first started doing it, I was charging way too little for it. I was charging too little for it and it became apparent in a few ways. One, I was putting a lot of time into it. Two, the commitment level of the guys wasn't high enough because it was $97. And I realized as I slowly started raising the price on it, I attracted a different type of person to the point where we charge now, I think $367 a month, and it's for 3-month commitment. People that are coming in on that level are much more committed. And there's programs similar to mine that charge $997 a month and more. You're going to get a different level of client, different level of commitment. I find the guys that I'm working with now in the Silverback, based on those things and the commitment level we're doing, we're actually getting some really cool stuff down because they're more into it. They've committed to a higher level. And you know what's happened? I've committed to a higher level with it because I'm raising the stakes and they're raising their stakes. So you know what happens? Everybody in the room, the circle of 5, the average is getting higher and higher and higher. Much more rewarding, much more result driven, much happier. One of the things I get the guys to do is to always bring a journal to write down the workout. We come up with an idea. We spend some time, write down a thought. And if you forget your journal, everyone's going to do 25 burpees. Because I want that commitment level to be higher. Because if you suffer, I want everyone to suffer in a group. That's how we build that group. That's how we build that tribe. We bring the level. The standards increase. When you increase your standards for yourself, the standards of people around you are going to increase, or those people are going to change for people with higher standards. We've all had buddies say, oh, fuck, you don't have to go work out tonight. Come on, we're going to the bar. We're watching a game. Come on. We've all had that happen to us. And we've all had our shares of like, all right, I'll fucking go. Because we're weak. We're not as committed to the other thing. Or, hey, they're our friends. They're my friends. Yes, they are. Just might not be the best friends for you at this moment. It's not that you're better than them. You're just in a different place, or you want to be in a different place for your happiness. Our parents used to say it all the time. If Jimmy jumps off the bridge, are you going to jump off the bridge too? I'd be like, no, I'll push Jimmy, see what happens. But that's really what it is. Our parents didn't realize what they were saying, but that's what they were saying. As a parent, I'm like, I'm very aware of who my kids hang out with. Because it's important. But at the end of the day, working on the perfect day and working on your 5 year from now, you work on that over the holidays. And put some effort into it. Get uncomfortable. Write some things down. Dream a little bit. Don't write the what if. Write down the why not. Why can't I do this? Because the only person stopping you from doing it is you. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be fucking hurdles and challenges, but there already is hurdles and challenges. So what the fuck? If you're going to do the hurdles and challenges, do it for something that really fucking matters for you. Because no matter where you are and what level you are, whether you're just trying to cruise and be mediocre and hide behind everything, you're still going to have challenges and fucking hurdles. Regret one of them. That's a motherfucker. So at the end of the day, if you're going to go through shit, might as well be moving towards something big and bigger and things that you really want. Not everybody wants to be a millionaire, and that's not what this is all about. Not everyone wants to be 185 pounds with abs. That's not what this is all about. It's about being who you truly want to be. But what you need to do is slow the fuck down and take time and figure out who that person is. And a lot of times it's scary to do because we're worried that when we find who that person is, we're going to see it's so far away from where we are. It's going to be daunting, disappointing. Yes, it will be. But then all you have to do is work on closing that gap. All you have to do is work on the reverse engineering. And it can be done. And then it can be tangible. And then you can sit there quarterly and review. And am I moving towards my target? If I'm not, readjust. Decision-making becomes so much easier when all of a sudden opportunities come towards you, but you know where you're going, what your goals are. It's a lot easier to say no or not right now, maybe later. Because you have a direction you're going that unless it's a yes and a hell yes, you don't move towards it. You don't take any time towards it. The singularity of that purpose is so powerful. And if we start with ourselves and who we want to become and what we want to do, then all the other things start falling away. All the other things start moving out of the way. All of a sudden we realize that we've been doing busy work, not real work. You can clear your plate of a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. You can delegate. You can get rid of. I had a buddy the other day that just finally realized, after 10 years, he went to his cottage that he bought that, he thought it was going to be the end-all, be-all because when he was younger, he had a cottage. After 10 years, he realized he went up there 15 times. And half of that is because he had to go up to open and close and fix. It became work. No one else in his family wanted to go. No one was enjoying it. So he finally sold it. And the first thing he said, as soon as he sold it, the relief, even when he decided he was just going to sell it, the relief he felt was immediate. And when he realized how much it was costing him, not just to buy it, but the upkeep and all the other things and stuff like that, he goes, we're going to go down south every year. And that's where my family wants to go. And once the trip down south is done, it's over. You don't have to worry if the fucking roof blows off while you're not there. It's not your place anymore. Because he sat down and he started looking at things. What was congesting his life? What was causing him stress? What was rewarding him? What was making him happy? And when he started doing that, so many things became clear. And he just spent the next 6 months unburdening himself with things that just didn't matter. We spend all our time trying to acquire things. We spend all our time trying to acquire assets when we're younger, and when we're older, we use up all our assets to try and acquire more time. basically comes back down to time as our most valuable commodity. So let's spend as much time as we can being happy, fulfilled, and living a purpose-driven life. But that's not going to happen if you don't sit down, take a pen and paper out, and start writing and thinking and being honest with yourself. Those of you that are listening that are doing it and going to do it, you're going to see a huge difference every month, every week. So that when we go to do this again next year, you're not going to be in the same place on so many levels. Those of you that are not going to do it, that are going to do it a couple times and give up, when we're talking next year, you're going to see you're still in the same place you were, or off, or worse off. The choice is yours. The perfect day and the 5 years from now. Hit those things up. If you have any questions, reach out to me, kurthaas@gmail.com. I'd be happy to help you out. In the meantime, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Positive review. Head on over to hostilegear.com. Use the code word Silverback to save 20% off some ass-kicking 2019 merch. And as always, guys, work hard, motherfuckers, and I'll talk to you later. Hey guys, Kurt Haas here from the Silverback Blueprint. Listen, if you guys are looking to get a jump start on some change and really get things going, but you're feeling stuck and you just need that little push, I want you guys to head over to silverbackblueprint.com. I've got a cool 3-video series that we just put up there, and it's geared to help you within the next 7 days lose 10 pounds, sleep better, and think clearer. Just the right thing to give you that right catalyst to get started. So head on over to silverbackblueprint.com. Sign up for there. You're going to get 3 cool videos covering 3 topics that if you follow are going to make a big difference. Work hard, motherfuckers, and I'll talk to you guys later.